Hello students, welcome to Veranda IAS. From the current affairs of environment, in this section we are going to discuss about natural capital accounting and valuation of the ecosystem services project. The learning objective of this particular session will be to discuss on natural capital accounting and valuation of the ecosystem services, that is NCAVES. We will explain the reasons for NCAVES project in news. Then we will outline the national capital accounting. Then we will list the significance and the benefits. Further, we will also describe the ecosystem services. Let's begin first by introducing ourselves to the NCAVES project. Now, the United Nations Statistics Division, UNSD, the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and the Secretariat of the Convention on Biological Diversity, that is CBD, have collaborated on the NCAVES project, which was funded by the European Union. So this project is basically funded by the European Union, which involves this organization, which is United Nations Statistics Division, then the United Nations Environment Program, and the Secretariat of the Convention on Biological Diversity. So these all have collaborated, funded by European Union, and they have initiated the NCAVES project. India is one of the 5 countries participating in the project, which also includes Brazil, China, South Africa and Mexico. So remember this, very important for the prelims, all the points. Which are the other countries which have participated for the NCAVES program? Brazil, China, South Africa, Mexico, involving funded by European Union, program of United Nations. Further, the NCAVES project is being implemented in India by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So that is very, very important again from the prelims perspective. What is it? It is project implemented by the Ministry of Statistics, Program Implementation in the close coordination with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So implementing agency is Ministry of Statistics and Program, but in coordination with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and the Department of Space National Remote Sensing Center. So these all other organizations are involved when it comes to the NCAVES project in India. So remember that, again a point for prelims. We know in prelims they do ask the statements or the factual information about some of the important projects and all those things. So this is an important project. Again, this will also be requiring in the mains examination. Now let's move on. What was the project? Why was the project in the news? In January 2021, the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation is organizing the NCAVES India Forum in 2021. NCAVES India Forum 2021. So this was organized by the implementing agency. Further, the Ministry of Science and Technology has launched numerous projects under the Natural Capital Accounting and Valuation of Ecosystem Services. So that is the NCAVES project. So even Ministry of Science has launched various projects which aims to develop ecosystem accounting theory and practice in India. Now, ecosystem accounting theory, nowadays, see, let's take an example. If you have some industry, let's say A, and it is contributing some XYZ percentage in the GDP of the country, or it is producing some product which can be valued, let's say C. Now, while producing this product C, or while contributing to this GDP, this industry particularly is also, what it is doing some environmental harm. What is it doing? It is doing some environmental harm. Now, is this environmental harm being accounted into the GDP, or whether that is being considered as the real value of the product? So we had to have some kind of depreciation about the value of that product, or even knowing that, okay, these kind of products are actually using they are damaging the environment and all those things. So we have to develop an ecosystem accounting theory as to what damage is done to the environment or the ecosystem by the process in which the economical activities are carried out. So that is basically one of the important point and practice in India. So that is done by the Ministry of Science and Technology. Now, what is natural capital accounting? This is the important concept that we have been seeing in NVAX projects also. Now, in India, the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation is implementing the NCAVES project in partnership with the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change and the National Remote Sensing Center. So this is like what we have studied earlier. Now, what is this phrase? It is an umbrella phrase that refers to initiatives. Remember this, very, very important. Initiatives to apply an accounting framework to give a systematic manner to measure and report on natural capital stocks and movements. So like natural capital means what? Even the coal is a natural stock. When we are taking the coal, at the same time, what is the impact of that coal, or what is the impact of taking away that coal and utilizing it? So all those things is there. So it is an initiative basically to apply the accounting framework. So whenever in economics we or in companies we have audits and accounts and all those things. So in the same way, it is an accounting framework given for what? Given for to measure and report on the natural capital stocks. Now what are the natural capital stocks? I have told you, like coal is an example. Whatever that is existing in the nature, which is a component of nature, is to be considered as a natural capital stock, and their movements and whatever the products and all those things are created. So this is basically natural capital accounting. Now, what is the significance and the benefits of NCAVES? Let's see them. Let's see those. Several of these accounts are linked to social and economic characteristics, making them an effective tool for policy making. So the first point, that it helps in the policy making. So policy makers, whenever they are looking into the or promoting some industries, promoting certain things, if they have an idea about the environmental or ecosystem kind of things, then they will be able to effectively decide on what policy should be implemented. Now this all will be saying, like, where in a country like India or in other countries also, and when environment has become such a significant issue, so overall we need these methods, and it is linked to social and economic characteristics. So it will have social impacts also, it will have economic impacts also. But again, social impacts we can say roughly, but what about having a complete theory as to, okay, these parameters have to be judged, these criteria are there, in this way this accounting has to be done. So overall, if we are able to do that, then what we can do, we can give a better picture of the social and economic impact of that particular activity or that particular thing. Now, ecosystem accounting can provide data on the size and status of the ecosystems as well as flow of ecosystem services based on the set of indicators. Now, this is another thing. So, like when we speak about ecosystem accounting, like for example, a coastal region where fishery is prominent. So, it is also a part of, it is also a natural strike. So, obviously, can we have a data on that, a concrete data done with the done or received from the scientific methods? So, ecosystem accounting can provide data on the size and status of the ecosystem. So that will help again the policymakers in taking the decisions about that ecosystem, creating new ways to mitigate, to creating new ways to further enhance the efficiency of those. So all those things can be done, as well as the flow of ecosystem services based on the set of indicators. So indicators will be decided in these things. Now, further significance and the benefits: participating in the project aided by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation in initiating the process of compiling the environment accounts in accordance with the United Nations System of Environmental Economic Accounting Framework. So, this will aid our ministry, and by aiding this, like by it being a part of that, our ministry will have a more understanding, more comprehensive understanding about what is being actually done. So it will help in, what you can say, understanding the global standards of ecosystem auditing. So that can be implemented. Now it is implemented at the national level. Same thing can be implemented at the state levels in the times to come. So that training and implementation is being done, or is the experience is being gained by this ministry. So it is a positive step in that direction. Since 2018, the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation have now published yearly environmental reports in magazine NVSATS India. So this is again a prelims point. Remember that what is NVSATS India? It is a magazine published yearly on environmental reports by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Remember this, very, very important. NVSATS. So it is, again I will repeat, it is a report published by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, published every year about the environment specifically. Now, what are the ecosystem services basically? As a part of an ecosystem, humans derive a lot of benefits from the biotic and abiotic components, we all agree. So, living organisms as well as non-living organisms, they basically create our ecosystems, and we actually benefit a lot from this. These benefits are collectively termed as ecosystem services. It's a very simple definition, right? So, as human beings, again I will repeat, as human beings are dependent, or they benefit a lot from biotic as well as abiotic factors or components. These benefits, whatever we derive from those, are known as ecosystem services. So, ecosystem services can be classified into 4 types. For example, regulating services. Then we have supporting services. Regulating services, it can include various other things. Supporting services, which can include again the things biotic or abiotic which support to our existence and all those things. Then cultural services are also included, cultural services which enhance our knowledge or which we have been carrying on for times and again. Then provisional services. So these are the 4 categories of ecosystem services in India. Okay, or overall we can say ecosystem services are classified in these 4 types. Remember this: regulating services, supporting services, cultural services, and provisioning services. With that, let's try to summarize what we have learned. So we have learned NCAVES as to what it is. Then we have tried to understand the reasons of NCAVES project in use. Then we studied the national capital accounting. Then we also studied the significance and the benefits of this project as to how it will help us. Then further, we studied the ecosystem services and various types of ecosystem services. So with that, I hope you have understood whatever we have discussed in this particular session. That's it for this session. See you in another one. Thank you.